On this episode, I'm going to show you where to download every single ROM and play it on your Raspberry Pi. Let's do this. Hey, we are back. What's going on? I got Mr. Justin Console Kits with me. Say hi, buddy.
What's up, guys?
Hey, I just thought we're just going to go right into, hey, everyone. I think we're just going to go right into this because this is brand new news. I mean, it's pretty brand new. We're just going to go right into it. So check this out, guys.
Listen.
Right?
This is Phil Duggan. He's one of our electronics experts. And this is just pure, unadulterated fun.
God.
If you want the hottest gift, you want to be the home that everybody goes to. You want to be able to have
Is this Jumping the Shark?
I want to be the home that everyone goes to.
We all know what that sounds means, right? That sound means. This is
Because everyone plays arcades from the side. I mean, come on now.
That was painful.
All right. I have to talk about that. We have to talk about that right now, though, because that happened just recently, right? Wait,
Yep.
Someone's saying where they're getting echo. Is everyone getting echo?
Oh, this ain't good.
I don't know why we'd be getting echo. Is someone getting echo? Just let us know right away. But I'm gonna continue as if we're not getting very much. Shoot, Justin. Well, that's not a good way to start here. Let's see. I don't have any other loops going on my end. Just the video you showed.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then we'll just continue. So anyways, if you didn't see the video, basically it's HSN. Here, I'm going to play it one more time, but I'll mute it so you can't see it. But basically, just so you can get an idea of what was going on.
Right?
So basically, during this... during HSN, they actually announced that there's a new arcade 1-up machine that's Pac-Man, and it's got a lit riser, it's got 3 other games, and it has a custom riser art. Did I say lit riser? I meant lit marquee. And it's got a custom riser with custom riser art. And so this is kind of crazy because this is kind of like Mortal Kombat 2 sort of all over again. So anyways.
It's even better, right? So let's talk about the good just for a second. So Mortal Kombat cabinet that came out to Costco, that was kind of this hybrid between some of their old generation style and the new generation style, right? So it had upgraded hardware, but it had the old school volume control.
Yeah. So, sorry, go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, but this HSN model is straight up like the Marvel, like the Pac-Man cabinet is just like the Marvel cabinet in the sense that it has the upgraded volume control. So it's kind of like this modern Gen 3 version of Pac-Man with 4 games.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So, here's the thing, guys. Here's my take on it. You got to expect that this is going to happen because, it's technology and, when you're an early adopter of anything, like if you consider yourself the Revision 1 cabinets, right? If you bought a Revision 1 cabinet, you knew what you were getting yourself into, right? It's arcade 1-up. It's brand new. No one really knows whether it's going to be successful. I even think the company themselves was really testing the waters on whether this was going to be successful or not. So, of course, they, lucky for them, they had a community that rallied around these products, even though they had a lot of issues, so they continued to make them better. So, early adopters can sometimes get hosed, but I think if you buy technology and you've invested in early adopter type stuff, you kind of get used to that. And in general, obviously things get better over time. So I don't really fault 1-up for that, but I know that it will probably piss off a lot of people. Now, what I would do if I was them, I would offer an upgrade kit. Like, why not have a kit that if you had a Pac-Man, you could upgrade it to be like this one? I think there'd be a lot of people that would actually give them the additional money to upgrade their system. Don't you think so, Justin? I think people would do that.
Yeah, I've thought this through a little bit. I think the volume control would be a kind of a difficult one to adapt. They could probably do it. Marquee, that's the easiest way. That's the low-hanging fruit, is just offer a $50. That's a good price point for arcade 1-up. $50, give us their upgrade to the lit marquee and instructions on how to install that. There's a market for it already, right? There's many websites that are already selling like a third-party light-up marquee. And if the company officially launched and made their own, they could make a lot of people would buy it. I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. So there was one other piece of news. Should we go to that now?
Let's go for it.
All right, so there could be some audio problems with this too, and I apologize, guys, because kind of slapped these in last minute. But I'm gonna attempt to fix it while it's going. So if there's some echo, I'm sorry, but we'll I think I'm gonna roll it with no audio, and then I'm gonna try to actually fix that after. So here we go. I'm gonna lower the music right now. But this is one other piece of news that came out this week that is definitely, if you're into the home arcade scene, then you've probably seen it before. If you're someone that doesn't frequent things like Facebook groups and all these other things like Reddit, then you may not have seen it. So here, I'm going to run it real quick, and then we'll see what you guys think of this product, the announcement that came out this week.
Yeah, let us know.
And that's the wrong one. Sorry, guys. Hold on one second. There it is. Digital pinball. Okay, so basically what this is, and I'm going to try to fix the audio while it's going. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, so as you can see, there's some kids here playing a pinball machine, right? And so these are going to be for sale. I believe they're pre-order right now, and it's a different company, a company that I haven't heard of, selling these. Kind of trying to get into that same space as AtGames and Arcade 1-Up.
All right, so I'm going to run it one more time, guys, because I had a problem with the audio. So anyway, so here it is. So basically, this thing, as Justin was saying, if you've watched my channel, then you know I've done reviews on virtual pinball. I own one. It's much more expensive than this, but keep in mind, this thing's got a 24-inch playfield. It has molding around it, which would actually be those metal rails or that metal border would typically be on a production model pinball machine. Except it wouldn't go in so much. This is going in and eating up a lot of the space. Now, obviously for cost reasons, I'm sure that's why they did that. They went with a 24-inch screen. It's a little weird. I gotta say, I felt better about myself investing in Arcade 1-Up because they actually had adults playing it. I feel like I almost wish the grandparents would have like elbowed the kids in the face and been like, "Hey man, you don't even know what pinball is," and like that would have made me more stoked on it. But anyways, so it's kind of interesting. I want to see what people are saying in the comments. Okay, so Super Dimensional says 0 interest. I will say, okay, I don't want to rain on anyone's parade. I want to at least give it the benefit of the doubt, because I feel like pinball has been one of those things that, virtual pinball to pinball purists has been sort of like, or somewhat adopted, but the purists don't believe in it. But it takes a lot to get the pinball experience duplicated like that. Like, for instance, you usually need a really high-powered PC. You really need a great GPU. And the reason why you need that is for a couple reasons. One is that you don't want delay or lag in the ball because it starts to not look natural. So that's one thing. Like, the ball, the flow and the mechanics of it look off. So that's one thing. The other thing is that oftentimes if you're doing virtual pinball, it has hundreds of tables, right? It has hundreds of virtual pinball tables. And there's usually an LCD screen for your back glass so that changes with every game. Well, with this, it's just one game and it just has like some lights and stuff. So it doesn't have to worry about that, but it's also running less sophisticated games. And then the other thing is you usually have this DMD screen right below it, which has pieces of the game that are pretty important. These games I don't think had DMDs or had that because they were older games, so you don't have to really worry about that part so much. But I just want you guys to realize, like, this is what it is. It's kind of like an entry-level product, but it might end up being like Arcade 1-Up, where Revision 1 isn't the best, maybe, and people invest in it, and they have some fun with it, and then they incorporate these other things that you kind of want in the product now at a little bit of a higher price point. So anyways, Justin, that's like my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, let me ask you a few questions about that. So let's talk about that price point. I think the pre-order was it $250? Am I wrong on that? Does anyone in the comments know what the price of this this Toy Shock is?
I thought it was $399.
Is it $399?
I think so.
Maybe there was something else in my head that was $250. So let's talk about that. So you have a lot of experience with this, Ralph. So what is the breakdown of prices if I want to get like a mechanical pinball machine? How much do you think I'd be spending?
Oh, like a legitimate old school one that's like restored, that plays one good game or something? That can range. I mean, you can go anywhere from, if it's in really bad condition, you can go anywhere for like, just like stand-up arcades, you can get people that will sell you something like that under $1,000, but it's going to be in really bad shape typically. You can go all the way. So one of my buddies just bought, I'll use this for example, he bought Simpsons Pinball Party. that game fully restored was $4,500, and I think that was actually a deal for that game. So I mean, there's so many mechanical pieces, and oftentimes what people do with pinballs is they'll yeah, you can go all the way up to 10K. Pitbull's totally right on that. But a lot of people will go and they'll replace the standard bulbs with LEDs. They'll do full LED kits. So I mean, mechanicals can be super expensive.
So what about
Classic Kim's talking?
like a virtual one?
I think Classic Kim heard like a lot of money, and now she's chiming in. She said, "I agree with Chris. What did he say? Not a fan. What's the point of the pull stick if it's not a real ball?" Oh, Classic Kim laying the smack down. She put the stake in the ground on that. She's like, "Bam!" That's it for her. All right.
So virtual pinball, how much is that? How much would that go? Like a full size virtual pinball, because they exist, right? Don't you have one?
I'd say like you can get into it for like $2,000. If you want to build your own, that's different. You can get someone that's maybe built one for like $2,500. Decent, okay, and then it's going to go up from there. So the more expensive of the virtual pinball machines would be like VP Cabs. If you go to vpcabs.com, I think that's the website. That actually was a company that was featured on Shark Tank, and I can't remember is it Damon, the guy on the show? Do you watch that show, Justin?
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's Damon, right? That's his name, right?
That's his name.
Yeah, so Damon invested in the VP Cabs guy. So they do pretty well, but then I have a friend that he runs a company called Virtual Home Arcades, and he actually that pinball machine is awesome. The Transformers pinball machine is awesome. Sorry, that was someone in the chat distracted me, but yeah, he sells them. He sells them for like $2,500. So he goes $2,500, $3,000 range. But you're getting like FX2. You're not getting FX3. You're getting FX2. You're getting a bunch of old tables. You're getting Stern stuff. You're getting a pretty decent PC. You're getting the backlit. You're getting the DMD. So I mean, that's a full setup. But it's not. But even the $2,500 mark, though, Justin, you're not getting like the solenoids. You're not getting the force feedback stuff. You're not getting the stuff that like really recreates the experience. Because if you want to recreate it completely, you need all the force feedback stuff to really feel like you're getting the full experience. So for what that's worth.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's going to be a very difficult thing it's a challenge really for a company to come in and try to provide that even at that price point, right? So it's actually pretty expensive for what you're getting. And it's funny how all the commercials showed kids, is it all kids because it's only tall enough for kids to play?
So believe it or not, and I'm going to try to do this, ready? For those of you that, and this is because I feel like sometimes after I watch his videos, I try to replicate his intro. I'm playing the game right now, but by the way, Justin, I started. So, and I'll talk a little bit about this game in a minute. So if you guys have seen, if you guys are early arcade one-up, adopters, then you probably used to watch this guy, Detroit Love. He was like one of the first guys who was making videos for the product. And I love his intro because it always sticks in my head. He's like, "It's your boy, Detroit Love, back with another video." And I just love it. He doesn't even another video. I love it. But anyways, so
good.
So I love his
Detroit
intro.
I hope he joins us one of these days. It'd be great.
I hope so too. So he did something that was really cool. I don't know if you saw it, Justin, but I asked him, I was like, "Dude, why did you do that?" So did you see it? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I never saw this.
Oh, okay. So he made a video where he took an arcade one-up box and he built to spec the size of the virtual pinball by Toy Shock.
Oh, really?
He literally built it so it looks like a pinball machine. It's the same size because they have the height requirements on the website on Walmart. You can see how high it is and how tall it is and the width and everything. So he recreated it and he stood next to it, and he's 5'7", I think. So one thing that was concerning about that with me is he's 5'7", and his arms do seem like a little bit like it seems okay for him, but I know like I'm almost 6 feet, so. Like, am I going to have that a comfortable time playing that thing? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, what is Detroit Love? His idea of a mod is putting a tap light inside of it and makes a video. Oh, okay. All right. Some Detroit Love haters in the group.
Yeah, you got to give love to Detroit Love.
Yeah, come on. How can you not give love to Detroit Love? His name's Detroit Love.
That's right. Just want to spread love.
So,
anyway,
yeah.
Cool dude. Yeah, I'm worried about that. Like, is it how much is the riser going to be?
Well, I hope there's not a riser. How do you put a riser? I mean, a riser, I guess, for that would be longer legs, but they already look like awkward legs. So I feel like, yeah, it would be weird, right?
It's going to be weird because it's like, if you fall over, does the whole thing just crash? You know, just like the leg. Can you imagine the legs just splitting out?
I don't. Yeah, exactly right. So Justin, you just missed it. I got. I'm sort of playing this game, but the problem is that I don't have the right control. I usually play this in an arcade cabinet because I actually have the Atomiswave board and everything, and so I'm trying to figure out.
You're telling me you don't have the right controller for this game?
No, I'm not going to say that because you bust on me for that because you say that's my excuse when I'm not good at a game. So I'm not going to fall into that trap there, buddy.
All right.
So should I talk about the game a little bit?
Yeah. Before we do that, I want to let everyone know that we're here to help. So if you have any questions about Arcade 1-Up AtGames or any of this arcade stick that RetroRalph is all into, crazy guy. Please let us know in the comments, and we'll read those questions out, and we'll have Ralph answer those questions. And if we miss you, we're sorry. Just comment after the video's over, and we will talk about those questions next week. So, Ralph, tell us about this game.
Oh, yeah, cool. So this game was released on the Atomiswave. So the Atomiswave hardware was sort of like the successor. You could almost call it the successor to like the Neo Geo when the Neo Geo MVS sort of ran out of steam. And actually, SNK made, I want to say it was about 5 titles for this. So when they kind of retired the Neo Geo, they kind of figured, what are we going to do? What games can we put what platforms can we put our games on? And this was one of those platforms. The cool thing about this platform is cartridge based. So this game is actually a cartridge. I'm running it under emulation right now, but I do actually have the real board for this, for this system. But it is one of my favorites. Like graphically, it's one of the really cool like later arcade games. But it's probably like the end of life of. I mean, side-scrolling beat-em-ups are kind of dying out at this point, so I don't know how popular it really was in the arcade. I kind of discovered it. I discovered it in the arcade, but didn't really play it much. And then I kind of... Oh, this is cool, by the way. This is the vertigo mode. So there's this mode that your character can get into where he becomes wicked powerful, and everyone else is going normal speed, and he's going, like, super fast. So it has, like, some of these larger-than-life elements to it, which...
Whoa.
Yeah, if you think about when this game came out, it would have been... I'm trying to think. This would have been at the tail end of just all the action movies, like 80s, 90s, where just like, bullets flying, no one gets hurt, like total massive carnage. Like that's what. So the game kind of does follow that theme where that larger than life character is super powerful or has superpowers. So it's kind of a neat game. I find it really fun. I think if they had just made the music a tad bit better, it could have rivaled like maybe a Streets of Rage kind of game, but it has a little bit of that vibe to it to me. So I really love it. I was gonna actually go get the cart so you guys could see it. So Justin, if you can entertain people for a minute, I'm gonna go get the cart while I get beat up in the game for a second.
Wait, I don't know how to do a live stream by myself. How are we gonna do this?
You got this. You'll figure it out.
Go for it, man.
All right, just make sure I don't die. Well, I don't know how you're gonna do that.
All right, so as you can see, anyway. So hey guys, we have some questions coming up, and once Ralph gets back, we're gonna ask those questions, and we have a few from the last week's stream, so we'll be covering that as well. Hey Bozo, how's it going, man? Did you ever get to play with that? I think I sent you a what was it? A PlayStation? The PlayStation Classic, right? Did you ever get to play it with that?
Are you talking to me?
No, I was talking to Bozo. Oh, you're back. Hey, look, back.
Yeah. So hold on a second. So this is the cart. So you can see it had like a little some connector pins down there. They're not very big if you look at it in comparison to like. Here, I'll just because everyone knows what this is. There's a Switch box, right? Nintendo Switch box. I mean, it's like, maybe half the size of a Switch box. So kind of cool. But these are really neat. And the other thing that was cool about Atomiswave is they made the board modular where you could plug in. So like, let's say Atomiswave came out with a racing car game or something like that. There's like, they didn't need to send out different boards to the arcades. They actually had like a racing kit. It was like a module that plugged into the same PCB, so they could add a racing car game to it. It was actually really cool. Like, it was a really, really neat arcade system. Not as popular maybe in the United States, and also it didn't have that many titles on it. I want to say it maybe had like 50 maybe. I could even be off on that number. I can't remember the exact count, but it's not a lot of games.
Yeah, so let's do some questions, yeah? You play, I'll ask questions?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, so we got some questions here. So what do you think will be the next firmware upgrade for the ATLU? right? The Legends Ultimate.
Oh,
the
that's a good
AtGames.
way to abbreviate that, huh? Because I feel like we don't really have a. Oh, I'm Vertigo right now. Hold on, Justin. I gotta
Do
go
the
crazy.
Vertigo. Do it.
I love this.
That's pretty sweet.
It is. Look at it, how badass that is. I love it. Anyways, what's going to be in the next firmware update?
Yeah, what's like some predictions?
Well,
from Super Patriot.
One of the things that I asked for when I was talking to them was I really wanted them to be able to do local Steam so that you didn't have to go through their server. You know, the one that I hacked, right? The one that I hacked. Right. We all know that I hacked into it myself personally. But or I thought I did. Well, actually, I kind of did, but
You did. You did. There's a joke that you thought you did, but he did. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the real hacker.
So, I think they're going to add that Steam service pretty soon. I think that's a pretty popular one. There's also some rumors going around that they're going to try to find, and this is purely rumor. I just heard this, so this isn't coming from me necessarily. Well, it is coming from me, but I didn't. It's not like it's through the rumor mill more than anything else. But it's that they're thinking about an easy way that you can add a Pi. You know how I did that with like the T connectors where I just spliced them in. They're thinking about ways to potentially like add a Pi to it for those that want to do that, where you can leverage the controls, but you don't have to do it the way I did. I have no idea how they plan on achieving that. Maybe there's going to be a module that they're gonna give people access to, but I think that's pretty cool if they do it.
It's pretty good.
But I'm finding there's so many options with that cabinet. I mean, look, the cabinet is ugly as sin. It is an ugly, ugly cabinet, but it's super fun. I've had the flexibility of it makes it so fun, you know? That's why I like it. But anyway, sorry, that was a long-winded answer, but
No, you're good. You're good, man. So we got one from Michael G.
dude.
He's got a Street Fighter 2 cabinet that's coming.
but
He wants to do some mods.
My son's gonna play, Justin, while I talk, I guess.
Sounds good. Let's do this.
All
You'll
right,
probably do better than
he's
you
sitting
anyway.
down. Thanks. That's really not cool. All right, I can hear you. I can hear you kind of though.
All right. So the question is, he wants to do some. What mods are mandatory?
I just died.
Springs, octagonal gates. What else? What does he need?
What mods are mandatory for what? For which system?
Street Fighter 2 cabinet.
For sure, if it's the version 1 Street Fighter 2 cabinet, which I think they didn't update that one. So I would say you're going to definitely want to upgrade the buttons for sure, and you're definitely going to want to upgrade the joysticks. You want to take those out. You're not going to want to keep those. But if he plans on keeping it as Street Fighter 2, like not modding it, like meaning keeping it as the stock PCB, then I would 100% change those out. It's a little bit harder to do, but there's a couple kits by DIY Retro Arcade where it allows you to plug in. I don't know if you've seen that. It's a direct plug Sanwa that goes right into that stock PCB, so it makes it easier.
Yep.
So DIY Retro Arcade, I'll put a link in the description to them. They're great guys. Shane over there is awesome.
Yep. It's great.
Tanner, you feel free to speak to them if you want. Do you want to just even say hi or anything?
Hi.
This is Tanner, right?
Yeah, that's Tanner. He can't hear you guys, but all right, you're dead. Hit start, and then hit A. All right, you're good.
These guys look so creepy.
If you want to do the special move, you hit this. I think it's oh, hit A, wicked quick. Just hit A fast. You only have 7 seconds. Just keep hitting A. Oh, there you go. Okay, cool. Sorry, Justin. Let's go.
No, you're good. Yeah, keep those questions going. I'm going to look up this one that we had from last week. And love to answer that one. Get Ralph to answer that one for you.
Wait, are you waiting for me?
No. Let's continue to talk.
Okay,
so
cool.
we covered different things, right? We talked about the new AtGames Legend Arcade.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to play with that any more this week?
I didn't that much really. I did look at there's a couple of new things. I had tried it before. I don't know that I think it was in the firmware before because I swore I did it before, but you can now use, Xbox controllers. So you can take an Xbox One controller and it has to be wired and you could hook it up to the cabinet. So that's kind of cool. I don't know if you saw Cool Toy made a video on that, but that's actually something that people have been wanting. I don't know. So this is where I get a little weird. I'm kind of like, it's an arcade cabinet, so I'm not as excited with a controller, but I think in certain situations, if that's the only thing that someone has in their room, maybe, and they want to use a controller, that could be kind of cool. Or if you're like Tanner here who likes to play Fortnite, that could be kind of cool because the Epic app is on there. Although I don't know if I am actually going to try it out with him. I'm going to have him play Fortnite on it and see if he cares, because I don't really think he will. But would you want to play Fortnite on that thing right there? That's it. That.
That'll be hard.
Okay, but if you had a controller, like, would you want to play it that way, or would that not be that cool? Oh, he said that'd be cool. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm not in tune with the youngins.
You're gonna have to try that. You're gonna put him to the test and see if he'll actually enjoy playing it.
I smell a lunch live stream coming on.
There you go. That'll be good.
What else we got? I look creepy in the dark back here, but
This is a creepy stream, man.
yeah, it's creep stream.
Yeah, why don't you remind everyone what game we're playing for those that have just joined?
Oh yeah, so we're playing a game called Demolish Fist. Hit start, bud, and then hit A. We're playing a game called Demolish Fist, and it's on the Atomiswave. This is not the original hardware; it's being emulated on a PC it's got Hyperspin on it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Side-scrolling beat 'em up. It was one of those last couple of side-scrolling beat 'em ups before the genre kind of faded away into the darkness. But the good news is Streets of Rage 4 should be coming out pretty soon, and that's actually something that I'm super pumped up about, and that should be out on, I think, Xbox and probably Xbox One and probably PlayStation 4. And it looks like the mechanics of that game are going to be, like, pretty sweet. So I'm excited about that. And the music, Yuzo Koshiro is involved in the music, so if you were a big Sega fan back in the day and loved Streets of Rage 2, the music was amazing. I actually have the soundtrack on vinyl, pieces of vinyl, but yeah, super cool. That game should be coming out. Hopefully we get some updates on that pretty soon.
Yep. Well, P-Dub just joined. P-Dub, so what you're seeing is Ralph has hacked into the AtGames cloud machine again, and he installed this game on it.
Hold on.
And
hold on, Tanner's saying something. What, bud?
Does he have more subscribers than you?
Just who? You know what he just asked me? He asked me if you have more subscribers than me.
Yeah, I do. I just hit 20,000.
Yeah, he just hit 20,000, bud. No, he doesn't actually. I have more than he does. I have more than he does. Oh, sorry. Just kidding, Justin.
My new mission is to get all of your subscribers to unsubscribe. All right, so thank you, P-Dub.
Thanks, buddy.
I do have a question for you, Ralph.
Yeah, what's up?
Have you heard anything about the new Wave Street Fighter thingy-majig?
New Wave. Oh, the New Wave toys? Oh, yeah.
The toys.
Can I get it? Can you hold down the fort so I can get it?
Do it.
All right, hold on, guys. I'm gonna go get it.
Good.
All right, we do everything on the fly here. We're not even messing around. Hold on, let me grab it real quick.
All right, Ralph is going to grab it. We're gonna check it out, and it's dead air, and it's just hey. I'm on RetroRalph's channel by myself. This is so great, guys. Oh, he's back. Man, I was trying to.
I'm back.
I should have just like, hey guys, welcome back.
Hey guys.
In this video, we're gonna be talking about the new Wave toy. The new toy.
New Wave toys. Yeah. So it's this guy right here. It's this little Street Fighter. So it's pretty cool, man. I feel like I'm gonna totally die in this game. I can't pause this game, unfortunately, so I'll just kind of let it play. I'll kill the audio, but hopefully I can keep hitting continue, because that's the beauty of it. It had, it was an old game that had quarters. So yeah, so this is it right here. It's pretty cool. It has I'll turn it on real fast so you can see it. But one of the neat things about it is it's got clicky micro switches for the joystick.
It's got really tiny cherry micro switches in it,
and it's got. No, I don't think they're cherry, but they're really nice. Like, they're really clicky and nice. So it plays fairly well. I actually had a lot of fun with it. I wish I thought I knew enough to kind of talk about this with everyone, but you're probably not gonna be able to see the screen. Let's see. I don't think you can see it. Yeah, you can't see it, unfortunately. So this was funny because at E3, I went over to the booth with this thing, and if you guys have already heard this, then you're going to hear it for a second time. But I'm absolutely going to do a video on this, but there's been a lot of reviews on it, so I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach. I want to actually show me and Tanner playing it. You can hear it. Hold on. It actually uses the arcade ROM, so the ROMs are pretty accurate. So it plays really well. Has these little other controllers that go along with it, but that's what we're going to talk about really quick because that was the funny thing.
Whoa.
What?
I'm just looking at the controller. I mean, I've seen pictures of it, but you're holding it, so it's a little different.
Yeah, it's this little controller, but it has the same one on the system. It's all clicky and everything. Really cool. But and you can have two of them. If you can have two of them hooked up at the same time. So that's kind of neat because you can put this on a table and sort of back up from it. Because you can imagine if someone was on it and you had someone on the side, it would be really hard to play. But it's really neat. But the funny story is, so I don't know, is Rusty Grill in the chat?
He was there before.
Okay, if he's here, he'll kind of add color. But so we go over to the New Wave Toys booth, and I was excited to see this. And him and I had been playing on. Hey, buddy. Him and I had been playing on the cocktail cabinet. I'm getting my butt kicked in this game, by the way, so I'm gonna pay attention to that and tell a story. And you guys know I can totally do that, right? So I go. We were playing the Street Fighter 2 cocktail cabinet in the Arcade 1-Up booth, and he had beat me. He was like up on me. He had beat me a couple times, and so I'm like, no, we're gonna go and we're gonna have a rematch at some point. But I forgot that New Wave Toys was coming out with this, so I go over to there, and I don't know why I'm. Where the hell is everybody? Did we kill everyone?
You killed everybody.
I'm just going to carry this motorcycle and throw it at these creepy baby guys. All right, so so we go over to New Wave Toys, and I'm like, oh, that's it. We're rematching, dude. That's it. We're doing this. So we go over there, and we have an intense game. Everything is cool. And the guy's like, hey, check out the new, check out the wire, these little wired controllers. It's super cool when you're playing two players. So I get on it and we're playing and it's all heated. And all of a sudden in like slow motion, dude, it was like slow motion. It was all the top of this flies off across the room, right? And I'm like, oh crap. So I'm totally like, dude. And the thing is the camera's running on me and I'm like, dude. He's like, what? Why'd you stop? I'm like, dude. And he's like, what is wrong with you? And I go, dude. And all of a sudden he sees that this is gone. But the crazy thing is the guy, I don't know what his job was at the company, so I can't say for sure, but I think he was like a rep or maybe the developer. I don't know, but he was definitely someone that was important because he was talking to everybody there. And I'm not playing the game, by the way. I'm just letting it run through. And so I look down and the top of it, the bat top is like right by his foot. Like you couldn't have made this anymore. And I'm like, dude, okay, don't draw attention to it. Don't draw attention. So I'm playing without the bat top, which was like this hard like plastic, and it was like eating into my thumb. So it's super funny. I'm actually gonna share the story and video when I do the review because it's just hilarious. Like the way it all happened, I can't recreate it and make it as funny as it was when it happened right there. But think about it. This was like the early prototype at the time, and I'm sitting there and I broke the prototype at E3. Yeah. So it was kind of lame. But anyways.
So here's a question from somebody.
Yeah.
In your lunch stream, could you take that and put a pie, put a Raspberry Pi in it?
Oh, come on. We can't just put pies in everything. I mean, you can. No, I'm not going to do that for a lot. You know who does a lot of that though? Glenn, actually. So Glenn's Retro Show, he loves putting those things. I think he calls them Glenny pies or something. Glemmy pie? I don't know. Maybe someone that watches this channel knows. I think it's called the Glenny pie. But anyways,
we have a question from my family. His name is My Family.
Yeah, I remember him from last week.
What would you want to see out of the AtGames, the most out of the cabinet?
What would I want to see the most out of it? Like I don't like games wise or support?
Yeah, let's take it with where would you like to see them go with it?
I would love, and I think a lot of people would. One of the coolest things they could do is try to partner up with someone for some of the newer light gun technology and make a light gun option. I think that would be super cool to have light gun games on that thing. And if they figured out how they could roll it out, whether it be Steam or otherwise, I don't know. I haven't seen light gun games on Steam, but if they could partner up and do something like that, where they could play modern games like the newest Houses of the Deads and stuff, like that could be really freaking cool. I would love that. Oh, it's a Glenny pie.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Someone corrected. It's he calls it a Glenny pie.
Yeah. So speaking of light guns,
yeah,
don't you have something going on recently with light guns?
Oh yeah, so if you joined the lunch live stream, you know that I have a link going out there to give this away. So this Thursday, I'm picking a winner for this guy. So it's the PDP Mars Voyage of the Dead kit. So you'll see that'll actually the winner will be announced. I'll probably just announce the winner on Thursday when the contest ends. So that'll be cool. But my goal is to also, for those streams, those Thursday streams, if you not Thursday streams, for the lunchtime live streams, when I do them, if you join, most of them I'm going to try to give something away during it, so there'll be like a link afterward or while you're or during where you can join the enter the contest. So I'm going to do a lot more of those. I didn't do giveaways in the past because I didn't have a good format to do them, but I found a really cool website to help me where it keeps track of people entering and stuff. So it's a little bit more, I think it's a little more fair than me asking a question and a bunch of people answering and the first person wins. Like that just seems kind of lame. So anyways, I think for what it's worth, that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So tell us more about this game. You told us a little bit before, but is there any other interesting things about it?
I mean, it's cool because a lot of things in the environment are interactive. So like you can pick up like weird things. Like I pick up this anchor from a boat, like stuff that like I said, that larger than life kind of stuff. Like you can pick up a motorcycle and throw it at someone, like bam. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of neat things. Like the environment is very interactive in the game, which is really cool. It does get a little bit monotonous, but the bosses are usually like pretty extreme, so it kind of like adds to the fun. I think they probably could have made the levels a bit shorter and made the bosses easier to... Oh, I just got ran over by a car. That's cool. But the cool thing is I can pick up the car and throw it at him after.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a super fun game.
So let's switch topics. How about some PC-based arcades, Ralph? So my family also asked the question earlier in the chat. Ralph, do you have any experience in PC-based arcades? If so, have you done a video on it?
Yeah, go check out the Beast video. So I haven't done a PC build per se. Like I haven't done a PC build where I say this is how to build a PC. But I mean I could, but the problem is like ETA Prime has done such a good job documenting big box. So big box is a great front end to get started if you're trying to build a PC based system, and it interfaces with like tons and tons and tons of different emulators. So it's probably the easiest one, and it looks really nice. You have the preview videos and all that great stuff, the artwork that people want. So I have not, but if you're looking for something like that, I'd suggest going to ETA Prime and looking up his big box tutorial. I think he actually gets paid by them to do those because it seems like he's always doing those. So if he's not getting paid, he's the face of sort of big box.
Yeah.
So anyways, for what it's worth, but the Beast build actually is a PC build, and that's actually featuring a build that I didn't do myself. It's by a company called Arcade One. So if you wanted to have, it's Arcade-1 online if you're looking for the website. So I would say if you're like looking for something where you don't want to do a lot of the leg work on it, but you want like a badass hyperspin build, he's an awesome guy to go to for that. You're going to pay a little bit, but honestly, you're going to pay a decent amount anyways because you got to buy the PC, you got to buy a GPU, you got to license the operating system if you're going to use Windows, which is most people are going to use that nowadays for a PC build. So the cost may actually be okay when you start adding everything up, right?
Right.
If you're not someone that wants to do the PC build yourself, because Hyperspin is not for the faint of heart. It's kind of a pain in the ass to work with, to be honest. And actually, I was going to do a video, Justin, believe it or not. I found my very first Hyperspin build, and I was going to showcase it on a live chat, or on a live stream to show people, like, well, what games was I interested in at the time? Because it's kind
that's interesting.
Yeah, because that's kind of funny because it shows you where my head was at the time.
Right.
Also... one of the games that I was super excited to get working at the time was the original Killer Instinct. So
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and that's one that everyone asks. Everyone asks that. Can it run Killer Instinct? I mean, every time there's a conversation, it's can it run Killer Instinct? So
I remember, was Killer Instinct the commercial was like, it's in the arcade, man. It's in the arcade. Remember that one?
I don't know, actually. It's a good question.
So why would someone go from, say, like a Raspberry Pi build to a PC build? What would be all the advantages?
Well, I think there's going to be it's going to be games related, right? There's going to be games that probably require a little bit more. Let's say you want to do like a gun cab. You can do, I shouldn't say you can't do gun cabs on Raspberry Pis, but you end up with a little bit better experience doing them on a PC because you have to run all those CHD files, which is actually the hard drive files. They tend to run better. Those games tend to run better on a PC-based system with a decent GPU. So it's going to be more about the games you want to play. At this point with the Pi 4, there's people that have gotten the Killer Instinct running, but it doesn't run at full speed. So like if you really want the 60 frames per second experience, I just think there's still some... Look, Raspberry Pis keep getting more powerful and more powerful, so eventually you'll probably see it able to do almost all the games, in which case it might negate the reason to have a PC. But for right now, there's still more... And if you want to do more modern games, right? Like, let's say you want to have Steam and do, like, modern games on your arcade cab, like an MK11 or something like that, where you're not going to be able to pull that off on a Pi. So... yeah, that's like basic 101 kind of stuff, but that'd be kind of where I would make the deciding factor is, do I want to play more sophisticated games, and do I want all the options where maybe I want to do Steam and stuff like that?
Right.
Hopefully that's helpful.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, if more people have more questions, we'll try to answer them for them. Now we're going to watch Ralph lose another level. Let's do it.
Hey. I want to see what else are people talking about in here. This game looks awesome. Yeah, this game is actually really awesome. It wasn't available on anything other than Atomiswave, so if you want to play this, you're going to have to do it under emulation with Atomiswave or buy the actual Atomiswave hardware, which actually, this is the one game. Atomiswave is a fun game to it was a fun system to collect for. However, now it's gotten wicked expensive. There's a game called Dolphin Blue that I really like that kind of reminds me of Metal Slug. Super expensive. If someone's curious, go Google or go to eBay and look up Dolphin Blue. I don't even know what it is now, but it's really expensive at this point probably. So it's kind of like it's kind of fallen out of favor to collect for because it's just like crazy expensive. It's almost like Neo Geo MVS stuff.
So Classic Kim wants to know, what's your next big project?
Oh, really? That's a good question. I actually do have a next big project, believe it or not. I don't know. Do I want to let the cat out of the bag of my big projects on here? I don't know.
You could tease a little, maybe.
Okay, so all right. So I went back and forth on this because I've done a lot of arcade one-ups, and now a ton of other people have done arcade one-ups. So there's almost no cabs really that... I mean, there's a lot of arcade cabs, but the major ones, the big ones that people get all hyped about, have kind of already been done, right? I mean, they really have. There's been gun cabs, there's been racing cabs. All the major games have been. You've got Simpsons covered, you've got X-Men covered, you've got TMNT covered. Like all the really big Star Wars now. Some people have gone and done Star Wars Trilogy. So there's I think Cool Toy did that. So there's a lot of games that have been covered. But there's one game that hasn't been covered that I loved playing in the arcade, and I'll just say this: Arcade 1-Up has released the early version of this game, so it was on one of the early cabinets, but it evolved over the years. It was a 4-player game. No one's done it, and I think it would be super awesome to do. So that's one of my projects. The other one is, and I'll actually say this one because I don't think a lot of people will go down the painful path of doing it, is I really want to get a modern Golden Tee. I want to do like Golden Tee like 2014 or something that's newer. So that's something that I'm kind of excited about because the newer versions, I don't know if you've seen the newer versions of Golden Tee in bars and stuff, it's really, really cool. The new versions of the game. You can like change your character, the way he's dressed and stuff. Like there's so many cool things you can do in it. So anyway, so those are a little teaser of current projects to come. I may tease it on the channel a bit. I've never been one to be secretive about stuff, although I was secretive about the Beast a little bit. So, ooh, my family might be close. You might even have it.
It's off road. It's totally off road. Right?
I already did Golden Tee Complete Pitbull. That's on the channel already.
So here we got a question from last week. And there's a lot of good questions in here. It's from Zerfox, and I'm gonna take it one piece at a time. We'll see if we can get a good.
Sorry, I'm in vertigo mode right now, so I can't focus for like 4 more seconds. So hold on.
Do it.
Vertigo. Oh, all right. I'm good. I'm good now. I can focus now for a second.
So Zerfox, he wants to build a vertical cabinet with a spinner for Arkanoid, and a dedicated 4-way stick. So that's his goal, right?
Oh, dude.
So, what 4-way joystick would you recommend? Maybe a top end and a mid-priced. A mid-range.
I'm gonna defer that one out. I know there's like a couple on Ultimark's website. There's a couple of really good ones. Or shoot, what's the other website? Shoot, I can't think of it right now. Is it Arcade Attack or something Attack? I'm not. You know what? Honestly, I don't. That's one area where like I never focused on a really solid 4-way stick. So there's probably someone else in there that probably could answer that better than me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, someone in the chat probably knows of a better one. Yeah, I've heard the Mag Stick Plus is good. So yeah, I'm sorry, Justin. I don't have like a Focus Attack. That's the website. Yeah, Focus Attack probably has some good stuff on there too. So yeah, I don't really. The 4-way thing, I'm not as serious about, but it's probably because of when I was playing arcade games, right? Like, I love Pac-Man, and I love Donkey Kong, and I love all those games, but I would probably put, like, a 4-way. I'd probably definitely offend a purist, because I would do, like, a 4-way sandwall and call it done, you know? where they would probably, like, go, what? I can't believe you would do that, you know? So that's an area where I'm sure if someone was a true purist, they would beat me up for that. But there's no problems with that, though, honestly, unless you're, like, hardcore and those are the games that you want to have exactly the way you remember them. The 4-way sandwall works pretty good.
Yeah. So how difficult would it be to add a spinner and get it to work with MAME? Maybe in Atari 2600 games.
Spinners are really easy to get to work with MAME. There's like a bunch of tutorials on spinners, and the newer spinners they'll have like a USB encoder board, so they plug right in and register themselves usually as a mouse. So it's usually pretty simple to get a spinner working. And if you notice, like if you use the AtGames Legends, the spinners will operate the mouse when you're in like Steam and stuff. So yeah, spinners aren't actually hard. There's a lot of instructions how to do spinners, and actually trackballs these days are pretty easy too because those also have USB encoder boards on them too. So yeah, they used to be more difficult, but now at this point they've made it pretty simple for you. And most of them come with like tutorials of how to do them and everything too. So, and if not, there's like a ton of references online of how to do that.
So if you had Pac-Man, Galaga, and Space Invaders, all vertical arcade 1-up CAD, Gen 1 cabs, which one would be the best one to mod?
I mean, really, it just depends, right? If vertical games is your outcome, then you could mod any one of them. I guess if you weren't going to put new graphics on it, I would mod the one that you like the graphics the most. But I think in most cases, you're probably going to have to change you're probably going to want to swap out the control panel anyway, because it's probably not going to have the button layout you want. If you notice, one of my early mods, I drilled new holes in a Pac-Man, but I would rather it look more the way you want it to look. So I would go into like DIY retro arcades and get a control panel that's already made. They have multicade ones, like if you're going to do a 60-in-1, and they're not that expensive. So I don't know, at this stage, because there's so many third parties selling stuff, I don't know that I would go and drill holes in the ones that it comes with. I would spend a little extra money if you have it and go with like a DIY retro arcade and go with one of their control panels, or even like Tulsa Arcades or something like that. Tulsa Arcades, he's really busy right now, which is good. So business is good for him, but he does a lot of custom stuff too, if you're interested in that. And so does Shane over at DIY Retro Arcade. And then there's also Arcade Mod Up actually sells kits now where it's like everything you need, the control panel included, which is really cool. So that's also, check out Arcade Mod Up too.
Yep. So if you're building this vertical cab, and you're trying to play these old vertical games, what do you think? Should you get an older PC, get a Pi 3B Plus, or a Pi 4?
Because the vertical games aren't like real, they're not like real intensive. You could do a Pi 3B Plus, no problem with something like that. Yeah, and then if you really want, if you wanted to, something to consider, if you kind of want to make it easy for yourself, there's an image out there. I think it's like 801 or something like that. I think it's called Mr. Burns, is I think the guy's the name of the build. That one has probably every single game you'd want already on it. So Mr. Burns would be the way to go. If you literally want to go download it from like Arcade Punks and be done with it, right? You're going to literally have everything you need. Actually, the way Mr. Burns boots up, it boots up and it's ready. As long as you have your encoder board plugged in, it's actually going to boot up and wait for you to set up your controller. It's that simple. Like it's ready to go right out of the box. So I mean,
what about
comparing
that to the 60-in-1?
You're gonna have more options and expanding it potentially if you wanted to, right? And you're gonna have a lot more games. And honestly, there's a lot of dupes on the 60-in-1. So there's dupe games on the 60-in-1. The 60-in-1 is gonna be a little bit harder for you to do if you've never done JAMA before, because it does have JAMA. Although the board doesn't need to be powered by an arcade power supply, you can actually get a Molex power supply and power it that way. If you're really looking for a lot of those classic games and you want to make it easier on yourself, and the emulation probably be a bit better too, I probably avoid the 60-in-1, to be honest. If you're someone that's going to build a JAMA cab and plan on like maybe having the ability to swap that board out for like another JAMA board, that will actually help you. But if you have no intentions of doing that, I say go with the Mr. Burns, Raspberry Pi 3B route. I think it's 3B. I think it works on 3B and 3B Plus, if I'm not mistaken. That image.
Yeah, I think there was one more on there. If you were building a vertical cab on the Gen 1, should he upgrade the monitor to a 19-inch Dell?
I will admit early on, if you go to the channel, you're going to see all those videos I made where I was all excited about upgrading the monitor. You're so close to the screen on an arcade 1-up that I don't think so, man. It gets a pretty good experience. I feel like you're going to spend a lot more money to do that, I mean those monitors, well, here's the thing. So those monitors no one gave a rat's ass about. Now all of a sudden the vendors selling them. There's actually so many people modding those monitors with the monitor mount kits that they've actually raised the price of those freaking monitors. So they're actually more expensive than they were in the past. They're still somewhat affordable, but I don't know, Justin, my answer to that is like, unless you're building something that might be a much larger build, non-arcade 1-up, where you might do a widescreen because you're going to play modern games and stuff like that, then I don't see the need to upgrade it. I really don't. I used to be in a different camp on that. I used to be on the, upgrade it, bigger's better, blah, blah, blah. But I think you just leave it alone. I mean, the monitor isn't amazing. Here's one thing I would do. If you did was it vertical kit was the question?
Yep.
Okay, I can't remember where I got it, but there's someone online that sells a brightness and contrast kit for the version 1 monitors, and I don't think it's that expensive. That kit would give you a kick-ass experience on that 17-inch monitor because it adjusts all the light bleed out of it. So that thing has all this light bleeding in the corners. If you get that little PCB kit, you'll have a much better experience with that, and you won't have that like sort of, it almost looks like a washed out video. Like it's almost like it's not, put it this way, it does distract you a bit. So it's not like you couldn't play it that way, but I think you'd have a much better experience. Yeah, I'll see if I can remember. Justin will maybe remind me.
I have one of those. I bought it.
Yeah, it works pretty good, right?
It was like $15. It was. I can't remember the name of the company. I have it somewhere around here. Yeah, we'll put a link in the description about it. But it's good. All it does is adjust the voltage that is actually going to the monitor. I didn't know what it actually does. Is that what it is doing? That's all it's doing. It's regulating that to a level so the lamp inside it is not as bright.
Oh, there you go. See? That's why we got Justin
so it's a simple fix. I'd say if you're, those vertical games like Galaga, any of the Atari games, it's a dark background. So that could annoy you. So if you have a Galaga or an Atari 12-in-1, Asteroid, Centipede, any of those cabinets, you go take a look at it. You'll notice around the edge of it, it's kind of a little bright. Technically, you're going to see the same issue on Street Fighter, but you won't notice it because Street Fighter is full color. It doesn't really, like, as it goes from one level to another, and it shows the two fighters, you'll kind of see the bleed. But on a game like that, honestly, it's not too bad. But if you're going dedicated vertical, but the new ones don't have that issue. What we're calling the Rev 3 or Generation 3.
The BOE monitors, yeah. And actually, the BOE brand is the same brand that they're using in the AtGames too. I didn't know who BOE was before that. I mean, it's one of those like China brand, that that monitor probably exists in a lot of products. You just don't know it by brand name, So yeah, but it's good. It looks really nice. The BOE monitor on both Arcade 1-Up and the AtGames, so no issues there.
So Dylan Hog Sauce says,
Dylan Hot Sauce, nice. Yeah. Dylan
can
Hot
anyone
Sauce.
let me know if the Arcade 1-Up screen is VGA compatible?
Not without modding it. Yeah. I mean, there probably is a way to do it without modding it, but not an easy way to do it, right? So, yeah, I would say no to that. You're going to need to put the video controller board on it that supports VGA. But that's
And that's not big
yeah,
deal.
it's
What are they,
common
like,
knowledge.
$30?
Yeah, they're like 20. I mean, I think you can even get them now for like $25, 20.
Right.
Something like that. But yeah, they're about $30. That's the same one. Everyone's pretty much using the same one that was linked off of one of ETA Prime's early videos. Everyone's really using that same exact one. There is an issue though with the newer monitors and that board. So just I haven't actually modded any new ones outside of the Star Wars cab, but I didn't do I actually left the game the way it was. I just did the yoke, so I don't actually have a lot of experience with the new ones. But I heard there was some kind of issue with the kit on it. Like you're like maybe there's a little bit of the screen that's missing. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I don't want to speak to it because I don't really know 100%.
Right.
How is
Yeah, I
she,
think we were talking about this before.
do you think it's comfortable to fight someone with what she's wearing? Like, I mean, it's probably hard to be comfortable fighting and moving around with. She's kind of dressed not really to start a fight, but I guess since she has this crazy whip that like has electricity, you don't get close enough to actually hit her.
I think the question is, what was she doing
before this, right?
she saw there was some war going on outside that she had to attend to?
I know, right? I'm gonna die in a second here.
She's like, I don't have time to put on clothes. Let me just run outside with my electric whip and kill Ralph.
Yeah, she went and grabbed her electric whip, but she was in the middle of something.
She had time to grab the whip, but
I think she was up in P-Dub's arcade loft.
that's right.
I'm just kidding. I wonder if he's on still.
Is he still on here?
I don't know. If he is, he'll definitely comment on that. She was just chilling. She's like, I don't know, I was up in P-Dub's arcade loft. I heard there was a fight. It came down real quick. I wish he was on. Come on. Oh, man. All right,
Well,
he was on earlier.
Okay, Mike was saying, now I got to say something about this. Mike was saying, come on, Ralph, come clean.
Oh, wait, Kim
monitors
likes
are
her
pretty bad
Kim
compared to
likes her
Legend.
boots, by the way. Kim liked her boots.
Those are nice boots. Now keep in mind, the newer Legends cabinet,
Yeah.
it's got the same, it's not the same size monitor. It's not the same, but it's the same brand. And that was the point we were making earlier, that if you go pick up the Marvel cabinet, I wanted to talk about this actually. I think right now, hands down, the best cabinet that you can go out and buy, like if you're new to this, you want to save some money, you want to get the best cabinet you can for the price. It's the Marvel cabinet for $249 at Walmart. And it's because it's the Generation 3 or the Revision 3 that has a quad-core processor in it, running 1.2 gigahertz, a gig of RAM. Those Generation 3 are really good. They put some really good hardware in there. The Gen 1's on the single core.
Vertigo.
And so you can't really get much more than like a Street Fighter game on it, but the Gen 3 is really powerful. And so I think for $249 you're really getting a lot for your money.
Yeah, agreed.
And then you would take that out and put a Pi in it, right? And then you have this a device that's as powerful as a Pi, and you rip it out and replace it with something.
Well,
that is called a
and
Pi.
Justin, the only thing that you would have to really add on that is a select button or a coin button, really. So you could if you want to leave that control panel, you could just drill. Well, you don't have to drill. So here's the thing: you have two options. You could drill holes in the control panel for your coin button, right? If you're gonna do MAME games and stuff, or in the front panel, the slanted front panel that I always forget the name of. I want to say it's H maybe. That front panel, you could also decide you want to put the holes there and put coins there too. The other place that I actually never put coins in, but I think would be kind of cool because it wouldn't be distracting really, is I thought of putting them on the side like pinball buttons. Because then if you did run...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because then if you did want to run, like, pinball games, you actually could.
Play 'em.
Yeah, like the ones that you can actually run on, like, DOSBox on a Pi. So that'd be kind of cool. I don't know. So you have options, but I do agree with you. I think that's a cool base cabinet to mod if you were going to, if you're going to get one of the newer ones.
That's right. So like this weekend, Street Fighter was selling on Amazon directly from Tastemakers for 166.
Yep.
I don't know. I would just pay the extra $100 and just get the Marvel for 249.
Well, because you get the better monitor, right?
You get the better monitor, and it's, I don't know. Have you played with it, Ralph? So if you're playing on, like, say, Street Fighter, and then you run over, you start playing Marvel, it's night and day difference.
So I
It's like
I haven't taken it out of the box. It's sitting in the guest room.
Like Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
You have the Star Wars cab, and then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cab. Like when you play, for like a full hour or something on one of those cabinets, that's about how long I play. And then you go play Street Fighter. You're like, this screen is leaned too close to me.
Yeah.
You're like, this is all awkward now.
So what if I was looking for a deal on a cab? Where might I go for something like that?
Yeah.
Shameless plug. No, seriously.
Shameless plug.
Seriously, where might I go?
I've been working last couple weeks on a new site I put together called Home Arcade Deals, and so if you're interested in that, just Google Home Arcade Deals and you'll find the site. And I try to make it like BrickSeek, but way better. Just put in the zip code and you hit go, and it will look up as many Walmarts as it possibly can and get the inventory. So it's a lot of hard work. A lot of people don't know how hard it is to make a system where all you got to do is type in a zip code and it does all the work for you. There's huge challenges to that. So I'm iterating on it. And so I want to say if you could pick up Street Fighter for $75, now you might be like, okay, Marvel for $250 or Street Fighter for $75. Maybe go with the Street Fighter. I'm just trying to help people get those really low prices if you can.
Yeah, here the thing that's cool is like also if you can find the $75 cab and this is something new for you, like it's a cool way to get into a hobby for pretty cheap. You know what I mean? Like you're going to get into it cheap. And if you wanted to, look, I'm not a huge fan of like the LED light up buttons and stuff, but they sell kits that have buttons and sticks in them for super cheap. Now I don't love that because I'm a little bit more of like, I want good sticks, I want good buttons. But if your main goal is like, hey, I want to play some of these games in an arcade kind of format, but I want to get out of it and not spend a ton of money, that is possible, especially at $75. But what I would do at $75 is I would save the money on the cabinet by getting it for $75, and then put good joysticks, put good buttons, and then you're gonna end up with like a really good experience, I think, in the end of it. If you decide to do like the Street Fighter themed one or something like that. So, but I don't know. What's the cheapest you've seen? Have you really kind of dug into like what's the cheapest you've seen on the Street Fighter side of the house?
I think there's going to be a lot of fun stuff coming up in the next few weeks. I'm going to be kind of using this website that I'm building as a way to produce content. So interesting things like, I'll just let you know, the lowest, I can tell you the lowest price nationwide, right? Like I have all the data. I have all inventory for all Walmarts constantly. And Puerto Rico is selling them for $49.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Puerto Rico?
So in Puerto Rico, it's $49. All
right, guys, road trip. We're going to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, Galaga, Rampage, Street Fighter. So I'm actually going to build. I have all the data. I have all the stores, and I'm going to put it all like on a Google map, and it'll just have flags of all the cities that have arcade cabinets in stock. For like under $100.
Sorry, I'm Wesley Snipes just showed up, so sorry, I have to pause for a second. I don't know why, but this guy looks like Wesley Snipes from Blade so bad. But anyways, all right, sorry, Justin, go ahead.
Oh, you're good. So that's gonna be pretty exciting because I was thinking about it. How do I make it so you don't even have to put a zip code in?
Yeah.
So imagine coming to the site or something, and it's just like, yep, there's not one in my area because you live in whatever state and you see all the states and there's no flags in that state. That'll be pretty interesting.
There was a good question there, Justin, a second ago. Hold on, I'm gonna read. He said he just got the 4-pound springs. Do I need to change the gate or is that not needed? So, what cabinet? I guess it. Well, here I'll answer the question. So, you don't have to change the gate. If it's a 4-pound spring, you'd simply just take off the. Why can't I think of the name of it right now? The Justin, help me out, buddy. I can't think of the name of the piece on the joystick, the plastic piece on the bottom.
So there's a spring,
you
and
take
then
out-
there's this piece that holds the spring down,
Yeah,
and
you
then you
take
gotta
out the
get in there.
C-clip. So you're going to take out the C-clip, and then there's that. There's the that plastic piece. I can't think of the name of it, but anyways, it holds the spring down. So the actuator. There you go. So you're going to remove the actuator, and then then you can just put the new spring in, and you're good. Unless you want to replace the restrictor gate because you want it to be like an octagonal gate or something like that. I don't personally like those. I guess the only reason why you might change it is if you're doing a mod on a cabinet that had a 4-way and you want to make it 8-way. But a square gate and an octagonal gate are both 8 ways. That's something that totally gets confused all the time. I've seen so many videos on Arcade 1-Up where someone's like, "Hey, I put in an 8-way gate," and they're putting in an octagonal gate, but they had a 4-way before that, or not a 4-way, sorry, square gate before that. Well, a square gate is 8-way, so there's like a lot of confusion around that. I also feel like there's like misconceptions that I don't know that like an octagonal gate's going to make you better at the game. Like it's not really going to do that. It's a look and feel. If you were used to playing games with octagonal gates, then you'd probably like the feel of an octagonal gate. For instance, like the new Capcom stick comes with an octagonal gate. So yeah, I mean it's a matter of like what you like the feeling of, you know. So just you can play around with it. They're really cheap. It's really cheap to buy the different gates, so you can go buy them and then just kind of play with them as needed, right? Anyway, sorry for the long-winded answer there, but
Yeah, you're good. So here's a question: when are you going to mod the cocktail cabinet?
so let's here. I'll talk about this for a minute. So this is legit. I'm serious when I say this. So even though it's cost me a lot of money, and I would really appreciate free things, and I get some stuff for free. I have never gotten anything for free from Arcade 1-Up. So I like that in the sense that I feel that it won't jade, or it won't like, I don't know. It won't make my opinion based on the fact that, hey, I got this for free, I need to be complimentary, right? So I was trying to get them to potentially supply me a cocktail cabinet, and so I'm kind of going back and forth. I haven't got any like legitimate confirmation on that. So if they don't, then probably end up buying one and probably end up selling it because I just don't have the space for it. But I will definitely want to mod that. My only issue with it is I don't know if so when I was at E3 I loved it. I played with Rusty Grill. We loved it. We were having so much fun on it. Actually, we had more fun on that than we did on TMNT, believe it or not, because we were like, you know,
Really?
because we were like talking trash and we were across from each other. You know what I mean? Like you're staring when you're playing a normal when you're playing Street Fighter, you're shoulder to shoulder, right? So you're talking trash, but you're not looking at their face. So we were like, I'm like, you're going down, you know, like looking at his face. And so we had a ton of fun on that platform. But I don't know if it's because we were having so much fun in the excitement of E3, but when I see it now in like Sam's Club and stuff, I feel like it looks really small. Like it looks a lot smaller than I remember it. Now, I'm not saying that the one there was bigger because I know it wasn't. That's my only reservation. Like, am I going to think it's as cool when I get it home, the dust is settled, and I'm not all super excited from E3? I don't know. But I'm definitely going to mod it, of course. It needs a 19-inch monitor bad.
Yeah.
Or
think
even
we'll get
larger, potentially.
Do you think we'll get King of Fighters on Arcade 1-Up?
That's a really good question, guys. I would...
We gotta wrap up our stream with CES predictions.
Yeah, I think that people... I could be wrong about this, but I think King of Fighters is way less popular in the United States, so I don't see them doing that. I think if they were going to go with like SNK titles, they'd be better suited going with like a cab that's got metal slugs on it and stuff like that. Yeah. And maybe throw in a King of Fighters on it, but I don't know. I don't think those games are as popular as people think in the US, but I could be wrong. I don't know, that's my take on that. But I mean, I hope they do something with SNK. That'd be awesome. And it seems like SNK it doesn't mind licensing their stuff out to other companies. So, but you know, they did release that new arcade stick that I haven't played with yet, and that's got all the King of Fighter games on it, I believe. It's got a lot of them, so maybe they won't have interest in doing that. Who knows? Or maybe they'll just release that in like, you know, in the European markets. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I don't think they've yet created a cabinet
God
that
damn,
was
I'm getting my ass kicked by this guy.
Specifically targeted to another market. The closest thing was Space Invaders. Remember they said they made Space Invaders for a friend in Europe?
Yeah.
That's essentially why they made it. You know, it'd be really cool is if at CES they announced a pinball machine.
Oh my gosh, that would be cool. So here's the thing: that pinball, that toy shark or toy shark. In this episode,
That's how Dad did it.
that's how America does it. It's worked out pretty well so far. Toy shark.
That's how.
Toy shark. Watch a bunch of little kids play on a pinball machine and get pumped. Okay, sorry. Oh shit! I spilled my drink on my table. Oh shit! Hold on.
Oh.
Oh shit! I got too pumped up. sorry, guys. All right. What was the question, Justin? Oh shit! I'm gonna die right now. All right.
Yeah, we're talking about cocktail cabinets, CES.
Justin, I'm listening to you. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't get water all over my laptop. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna. I think they're probably gonna stick with new titles. They did venture off with try to build new products. They got really excited about that last year. Remember, they released what is it? I mean, there were so many new SKUs that they were coming out with that were just brand new lanes for them, and I think they went wide really quick.
Yeah.
Right. So, they had the wallcades, got the countercades, we got the new Walmart little Beanie Baby guys. You know, what were they? Little stuffed animals of arcades.
That's weird. Yeah, I don't know.
And,
Dude, my
and that's
table's
fine
all
if you have a
sticky right
side
now.
of tastemakers that are just kind of managing that.
I'm gonna vertigo this guy's ass. Hold on.
Do it. Wesley Snipes is dead. He did it.
Yes! Eat it, Wesley. I only spent like 16 lives on you.
That's right. Right. So I think very few people have actually purchased the countercades. I don't want to talk negative.
I have a
about
jingle
arcade
for that.
necessarily.
Do you remember my jingle?
was it?
Arcade a one up and countercade.
Right.
Oh yeah, Justin's like, yeah, cool, bro, cool jingle, man.
Well, I'm finally excited that Kohl's is going to be having the closest price to $99 I've seen so far. It's like $105 when you put together all the discounts for like a Pac-Man countercade.
Can I ask you,
And
Justin? I got
the
a
only
question for
person on the
everybody.
world- What's that?
I got a question for everybody.
Okay.
I never released the version 2 of my countercade mod.
Yeah, what
I'm
did
wondering,
you do with
do people want to see that? Like, is that something that you guys want to see? Because I actually have. It's done. I just never made the video for it. It's completely finished. It's running the Mr. Huh? What's that?
Would that be a lunch stream?
It could be. It's running the yeah, maybe that's a good lunch stream. It's actually running the Burns 800 Mr. Burns 800 image.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's done, then obviously. Yeah, Rusty. Come on, man. Rusty Grill.
Yeah, and I think there hasn't been as much excitement for any of the other stuff that AtGames or Arcade 1-Up is doing, except for their main cabinets. I mean, their main cabinets are
Arcade
just
1-Up and countercade.
they're doing wonderfully. They're selling like crazy. The fact that we're able to buy them for $75, I think, is as Scott has put it, it's because Walmart has sold so much of their inventory. At least that's his spin on it. That they're selling off. He alludes to 90% of the inventory that Walmart has been sold off, so they can't control the retailer's price. So they're going to liquidate the last 10% for $75. They can do that, and yeah, that's great. But if we see really low prices on the other items, I think it's because they're not selling.
Yeah, I actually think I have this theory, and I think you said this, but I don't think people are buying the countercades, and I actually do not think people would buy the wallcades, but I could be totally wrong on that. I don't think people would buy those, but I could be wrong.
I think I only know 2 people. It's like you bought the countercade, and then someone else. There was a guy that's big in Facebook and Reddit. I can't remember his name, but he picked up a Dig Dug.
Oh, polycades are cool. Oh, dude, Brian, yes. If you've never looked at, I know that I think they just released a newer one. Polycades are badass. Those are really neat. Go look those up on Amazon. They should be on Amazon. They should be on ePay. They're expensive, but they're really fun. They're really cool, like DIY. Like if you have if you want to do something fun like with your son, a younger son or whatever, or if your daughter's into it, like they're kind of fun. They almost remind me of like not Steve Jobs. Why can't I think of Wozniak? Wozniak invested in a company to do like a DIY like kit to teach your kid how to program with Minecraft and stuff. What are you laughing at? What's funny? What'd I say?
No, I'm sorry. It was someone in the chat.
What'd
They're
they
making
say?
fun of you. Ralph and the other guy bought the counter.
Ralph and the other guy. So you want to know how?
It was -1 who bought the other countercade. It's you and -1.
Do you want to know why it was so funny, the countercade? I was super pumped when it came. I was like, oh my God. And I was in my other job at work at the time. And I didn't have a whole lot going on at the time. Like, we were not busy at the time. And I was like, all right, guys, I'm taking the rest of the day off. Does anybody need anything? And everyone's like, no. And I got so pumped. I'm like, oh, arcade, one up, and countercade. And I was all excited. And then I look on YouTube. It's like 2 weeks later, and I'm the only video of someone that has one. I'm like, dude, no one bought this. Like, no one did reviews on it. I'm like, either they bought it and didn't care, but no one did reviews. So even now, there's not a lot of reviews on them, I don't think.
Yeah, so you'd think that some of the other YouTubers would have picked up on it, like the ones that get it for free. Does that mean Arcade 1UP also was like, yeah, we're not even gonna give any of them away?
They sent like $1 million to Boogie 5437686753009.
Boogie 8675309.
Boogie, who can I turn to? You give me something I can hold on to. All right, sorry.
Yeah, man, Boogie's cool. Calm
No,
down.
I'm not dissing Boogie. I'm just saying his name's like, I don't know how to say his name. It's like I have a buddy that has a car that has like 6 names. It's like a car that's available in like 3 different countries, and it's got 6 different names. So I'm like, dude, I don't know what to call your car. Your car's got like 10 names. So Boogie's like 6. It's Boogie 8675309. It's cool. Anyways, go ahead.
Hey, Zerfox, how's it going?
I'm just jealous that he gets all the cabinets and I don't. How about that? There's some honesty
he's
for
got,
you.
like all 11 of them or something.
I'm just jealous.
For free.
Okay?
Hey, Zerfox, earlier in the stream, we answered all your questions that you had from last week. Thank you for commenting below. And anyone else, if you are catching this stream later in a broadcast, comment down below. We'll answer those questions, try to help you as much as possible, because that's what Ralph likes to do, is help people. He helps people. That's what he does.
Yes.
That's why he's on
dude,
YouTube.
Look at these guys. These guys are nude, and they have barcodes on their stomach, which looks like barcodes. It's weird.
We should scan it and see what it comes up.
I wonder if it's scannable. I don't think they had that technology when this game came out, unfortunately. Not for like, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? A QR code. There you go.
Yeah.
So anyways, dude, we got to wrap it up. We're going like really late.
Yep.
I'm starving right now. So we got to wrap this thing up. I appreciate everyone joining though. That was pretty fun. I had a good time with everybody, and everyone hung out for a while, so that was pretty cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's Hot Pockets.
Hot Pockets. Hey, can you hear me when I do this?
We love you, Hot Pockets.
Can you hear me when I do this?
Yep.
You can? Because we were testing it earlier and you couldn't hear anything. Clearly you can because he's dancing. He's doing the Justin Console Kids dance. All right, Justin, we got to wrap it up. I'm sorry, but all good things need to come to an end at some point, and this one needs to come to an end. But the cool thing is this week I am actually working from home, so I'm going to attempt to give you 2 lunchtime live streams. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do on them yet, but one of them for sure I know I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do how to add Sanwa buttons and Sanwa sticks to a Pandora's box, like one of the ones with the 2 controls on it. But you could use this tutorial for anything, anytime you want to add sticks or buttons. So it shouldn't be that different if you were going to do this, or you're going to do it in an Arcade 1UP or something else where you're using a USB, controller board or encoder board. Like, it should actually be universal. So hopefully that's interesting to you guys. But yeah, lots of cool stuff going on. And I'm going to give away something else, but I don't know what it is yet. So we'll have to figure that out. Justin, do you have any final words?
Ralph, make sure you check your flag. Because seriously, there's been like 10 comments that your zipper's down.
Okay, the zipper's not down, guys. Hold on.
Okay.
Nope, it's not. It's actually not. So,
I think that's all we have for today. Thank you for stopping by.
yeah, thanks everyone for joining. Thank you, Console Kits, again. This is super fun. And yeah, if there's anything that you guys want to know, comment below. We'll try to get to them. I have a lot of comments these days because the channel's actually growing quite a bit, which thank you for that as well. We could potentially hit 12,000 subscribers today before today is over.
If you're not subscribed yet, hit that like button on your way out.
For sure. But all right, guys. Well, Rusty Zipper. That's actually really funny. Yeah, we're almost there, Brian. We're almost there. All right, so let's make it happen. Let's make it happen tonight. That'd be pretty badass if it happened tonight. So that's it. Thank you, everybody. Big round of applause to you. We'll run the music one more time. Hold on. Yeah. All right, everybody.
Brian, you got to sub twice.
Have a very, 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 very good rest of your evening, and we will see you soon. Thanks, everybody. Take care.